Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sopo and I'm filming another sit-down video for you today. Today it's gonna be all about our future kitchen and the planning and the drama and all that goes along with it, because I asked you a few days ago via poll on Instagram what you would love to see more, a vlog or kitchen update, and most of you voted kitchen. So here it is. I was still anyway planning to film this just to be very honest, because I wanted to keep it as a memory on my channel for the time then when everything is done and we're gonna move to our new house and look back and see what all question marks and sorrows we had with regards to the process, and be very happy that it all worked out, or so I hope. If you're new to this channel, if you have not seen anything that I've uploaded on this channel so far, please do so. I am posting 1 time a week, mostly vlog type of videos, but also fashion, beauty, makeup, anything really that interests me, and recently more and more with regards to house related stuff, because we got a new house in Hamburg which is under construction, so we are fully involved in the design process because we have to move next year spring there. So I think the videos related to house planning and designing gonna intensify as the time passes, and if you are up to seeing such kind of videos, stay on board, click like and subscribe, say that you are new in the comments below, and share your experiences with regards to the problems that we are facing currently. In this video I'm going to be talking all about the kitchen, but more is to come, and stay on board to check out the end result whenever that's going to happen. So let's get started. First and foremost, the kitchen in our new house is going to be integrated into the entire living area space, so to say. We had an option to separate the kitchen from the living room. We had an option to build a wall and have an entrance through the hallway to the kitchen. That way we would have 2 separate spaces, but the kitchen area is 8.9 square meter space in the construction plan, and we thought this was just too small to have it as a separate room. I know it's not very small, it's okay really, but being a bit slightly claustrophobic and always tending to make spaces more open and airy and spacious because that makes me feel more comfortable, I thought it was too much of a risk for me to take. Also in the sample house where we have been, the kitchen was integrated into the living room. It is anyway detached from the living area. It's not like one of those open kitchens which is on one entire wall, and the living room with sitting and chilling area is facing to the kitchen. It is anyway in the corner. I'm gonna insert the pictures of everything that I'm retelling, because obviously I'm sitting in the current house of mine right now and I don't really have anything physical to show you other than the pictures of the current status, construction plans, and the inspirations that I have been keeping in my phone more than a month now. So this video is going to be fully loaded with pictures obviously, and I hope that gives you inspiration or the image of what I'm talking about. Anyhow, I'm going to insert a construction plan which shows you that the kitchen area is detached from the living space, and it anyway would not really feel like intruding into the living area. On the second hand, I really love when the kitchen is sort of continuation of the living area in terms of design as well, that you can bring in the elements of your living room into the kitchen as well. I always see every room as a part of the integral design concept in a house, and I wanted to somehow practice or try at least to resemble and continue the major design elements of the living room in the kitchen as well. Let's see if I can manage to do that, but that was at least my attempt in deciding against this wall. Also, because of the size, we decided to stay away from the upper cabinetry, which might sound really awkward and alarming for a lot of people, because such a small kitchen area without aisle might ring alarm bells for many people with regards to the storage situation. It's a big topic for us as well. I know that currently what we own would fit in this future planned kitchen, but as time passes and we're gonna grow in terms of family, etc. There will always be a lot more things that we gather and hoard up, so we'll have to think where we're gonna create extra space to store all those, because this new kitchen won't have any. So in the sample house they had L-shaped kitchen, and it was sort of a middle house, so to say. They did not even have windows, so they were having L form with upper cabinetry as well, like upper and lower cabinetry, and another wall was completely left open so that it would create an illusion of space and did not look that tight. And when we were at the neighbor's house, we were just checking the wall colors there, but we had an opportunity to see how they decided their kitchen and the bathrooms as well. It was really good. We looked at it, and they had U-shaped kitchen with upper cabinetry only on one side and leaving the another side completely open. I don't really know what they're gonna do there, if they put some open shelving or if they just keep it blank with hanging some pictures or so. But it made me realize that if on the both sides the cabinetry would be installed, that would look very, very tight and very narrow and dark for my personal liking. In our house, because it's a corner house, we have 2 windows in the kitchen area, and one is looking into the nature sanctuary in the back, and the other one is on the side to the backyard. These 2 windows obviously bring a lot of light, which I'm very, very happy about, but at the same time take so much space and don't really allow you to install any upper cabinetry on that one side at least. If you would want to install something in between those pictures, you would have to go custom made, because there are no any units which fit to that small area that is left to that section. First of all, that would look awkward to do upper cabinetry and leave only that space open. Obviously you had an opportunity to put small corner shelves up there, but that's not something which I thought would look nice. And there was one topic where we decided against it, and also standing in this neighbor's house and like having 1 meter and 30 centimeters in between those installed cabinet units, it just made me feel a bit like restricted. So I just wanted to keep the upper space open. It was also aligning of with my vision of the dream kitchen, which I got from my favorite interior designer, Athena Calderone. I hope I pronounced her name right. I found her a few years ago on Instagram, and I've been obsessed with her house. I've screenshotted and downloaded her pictures from everywhere, like Instagram, Pinterest, have watched all the videos she has on YouTube. She has 2 beautiful books, Cook Beautiful and Live Beautiful. Yes, that's how it is called. I brought the book, which I got as well. You can see the obsession. She has created this beautiful book with different houses that she got inspirations from, but also of her house, and they're very lovely tips and ideas how she recommends to design different spaces. Her kitchen has been the biggest source of inspiration. Obviously, I have to say that I'm practically trying to copy paste her kitchen into our space. Obviously not copy pasting, because she has completely other cut, but the idea of it definitely is taken from her house. She herself confessed in one of her videos that she took the idea from Parisian architect Joseph Durand, hope I pronounced the name right as well, who is absolutely breathtaking. Also, I'm gonna insert pictures of their houses on the screen right now, and let me just quickly show you her kitchen. Obviously she has huge kitchen in the aisle over here, and you can see this dark blue cabinetry with marble countertop and wall mount and shelving. So this is my dream kitchen, let's just say that for once. So just as it is in with everything in life, I jumped into the idea with 100% saying that was my dream kitchen, and because we are building this house once in a lifetime, hopefully, I wanted that it be 100% what I want, and nothing else really. That's just my philosophy of life. Not really taking into account all the difficulties that come with it, or not really knowing the difficulties that come with it. So Falco was already skeptical because of lack of storage area, which is definitely a point, but also because of the possibilities of having, for example, the oven on the height of your arm, so to say, of your body length, not this traditional way of having the oven integrated into the lower cabinetry. Those options were all jumping out of window, obviously, because we would not have any wall mounts. Other than the stone itself, not knowing what such marble could cost, because she obviously has Calcutta Monet marble, which is super rare and with strong veins and very, very beautiful, but not knowing what it costs. It's not very easy as well to find prices of those marbles online unless you are planning to buy it online, which is not really a good thing to do. So I was sort of determined with regards to this option even prior to knowing the costs associated with it and the difficulties associated with it. But we started with weighing up the pros and cons, and we discussed and argued and decided what I want. So we went to the different kitchen studios with the wish to plan the kitchen according to this look. And there we already met the first struggles. No single kitchen studio that we visited, no matter where, like in central Hamburg, outskirts, some prominent and famous ones, some less prominent and famous ones, more small businesses, none of them were really experienced or wanting or willing to deal with marble. I honestly tell you, no, there is no kitchen studio in Hamburg that I've talked to or written to or been who said that they have had experience or are very eager to work with the stone. I think actually 90% of them said that this would not be even an option. They were right away showing you the quartz, which is obviously, you know, is not a natural stone. It's an imprint and resembles the look of marble, but as soon as you are in the eye-to-eye proximity to the stone, you instantly see that it's not the real stone. I was very decisive with regards to that. I was saying that if it won't be natural stone, then we don't have to do quartz at all. I did not want it to look like, talking about the price, marble is definitely not the cheapest option when it comes to the kitchen countertops, but it's not one of the most expensive ones. The quartzite, which is also natural stone but a lot more durable in terms of not being that porous and not being that soft, is lot more expensive option as well. The APL technology that is being used is as well very, very expensive. So it's not that this was super luxurious and that was the decisive point why I wanted it. Just want to put it out there. It was just the look which I was admiring, and the bringing in the natural elements within the house. I am really big fan of working and living in a space which is inspired and taken from nature, and I'm also willing to go into the sacrifice of it not looking that pristine in quite a small period of time, because that was the argument which everyone was using against us, saying it's gonna stain, it's gonna scratch, kitchen is a area where you work, it's not looking like a museum, you're gonna work with some sour things like lemon and chili, etc., and that's gonna stain it right away. I know I am aware of all those challenges. I've read about it, and I think you can be very well prepared with regards to it, but I'm also very stubborn in my choices, and I know that if I would not go to that direction, I would always regret it and think, what if I have done it? Plus I know so many people are doing it and just wanted to give it a try, even if it would mean that it would rain in quite small amount of time. I'm also very strong believer that if you're not completely clumsy or dropping things on the kitchen countertop, or if you're not a person who works directly on the countertop but using some wooden board or some protective things underneath, that it will be sort of fine. We also never really had a case of really having any stains on our current kitchen countertop, which is also made out of natural stone. So I took aside all those logical arguments. They could not talk me into sense and still stuck to my plan. And there was one small kitchen studio which we found close to where we live, sort of outskirts, which was willing to talk to their stonesmith and discuss this option with us. So we went with that. We were very excited and happy, but because the kitchen studio and the stonesmith did not really have experience with doing kitchen countertops and open shelving, floating shelving, they discovered the difficulties that come with it along the process. So just to give you an overview, we started with planning the cabinetry area, what would come inside, like how we would solve the solutions of the corner solutions. We are installing lemon option in one corner, which we would we use as a storage for all the pots and pans. We don't have that many, and we thought it would be a very convenient option to roll those out and have everything very, very handy and reachable, and leave the other corner area just for normal shelving, where we can store things which we don't use on day-to-day basis. We'll have obviously the dishwasher, we will have the oven area with integrated microwave, and obviously we will have a full-size fridge. Fridge was a big discussion point as well. I really loved this double door big fridges, which had also the ice water spender part integrated in the front. But researching that, Falco was very excited of the idea as well, but researching that, we found out that it would take so much space, would be very bulky in this small room where we already struggle with the storage area. And also all of those double door fridges were arranged so that the one entire side was dedicated to the freezer and the other one was dedicated to the actual fridge area, which is not really matching to our lifestyle, to be very honest. We always cook fresh and eat that particular day and maybe another, but that's really it. So we decided against that, even though that was really a cool option. So if we had a bigger kitchen, maybe we would consider that, but because of the space, most importantly, and price, we just decided to go against it. We also decided for the induction stove because we made perfect experience in our current house. Everything is getting super quickly ready. It is not hot, which is very important for us, especially having cats who are running around in the kitchen and on the countertop as well. We are not prohibiting them to come up on the kitchen counter. I know, gross for some people, but they are allowed to do whatever they want in our house. And I remember that living in Bonn, we always had to put like pots of water on the hot area so that the cats will not burn their feet, and this is definitely one and only solution we wanted to go for, and obviously that's what we are doing. Also, when it comes to the kitchen cabinetry, I really wanted the modern landhouse kitchen, like I showed you in the picture, but Falco was not having it. It's not really his favorite style. And then thinking about the rest of the house and the items which I'm loving, the chair and the couch and the pieces which I'm planning to get and decorate the room with, was not really aligning with the modern landhouse style. So I sort of had to compromise there, because all of the rest was sort of revolving around my idea. I think when it comes to cabinetry, except those two corner options, all of them gonna be in a form of drawer. I really love drawers over the normal door options, because when you open the door, normally you just have to put things and you just have this depth where you don't really see everything through. We have two of such options in the current kitchen, and I always find those spaces filled up with a lot of mess and chaos. Vis-a-vis to the drawers, where you just slide the drawers out and have the overview from the top what is really happening inside. Those drawers will hide drawers within as well. There was such option, which looks a lot more elegant and clean from outside, obviously, because you don't really see this hidden drawers within. There was a slight price difference between the normal drawers and those hidden drawers within another drawer, but because of the looks we decided for that. With regards to the sink as well, I really had to change my mind once the modern landhouse kitchen style was eliminated from the options, because I always loved those visible big sinks, which you could see while looking at the sink, but those would not really fit with the modern kitchen cabinetry style. Then the kitchen studio obviously proposed the two options, stainless steel versus the ceramic, which we are not 100% decided with. The price difference between the two is pretty big, I have to admit, so that was definitely one of the criteria where while we still were asking ourselves what we're gonna do, because while we were discussing all those options, we still did not know what the countertop price would be. So we left that question open, but I think at the moment we are sort of more leaning to the ceramic option. When talking about the sink, we decided also to go for the double sink option because I don't really love having the washed dishes standing on the countertop. I prefer it being stored within one of those sinks while another is still available and accessible for using. Obviously we have a dishwasher, but I tend to wash the small things here and there on day-to-day basis, and having a marble countertop obviously would not be really smart idea to keep wet things standing on top of it. So that was one of the options where we decided to go for it. So as a next step, our kitchen studio contacted the stonesmith, retelling them that we wanted not only the countertop made out of marble, but the wall mount with the floating shelf. And that's where all the drama began. The stonesmith was saying that doing a countertop was not a problem at all. Doing the wall mount would be as well imaginable because of the large area which would be aligned against the wall, and the glue having an opportunity to really work on the big area and stabilize it. But when it came to the open shelving, especially made out of full marble, they were not having it. They were saying this is not a good idea to do it out of wood or some other material, or just to do at least the shelving part in quartz, which was no-go for me because having marble and then having something look like marble on the top would look disastrous. And I was always just referring, how are those people doing it? So having no experience with marble, they didn't really know how this topic was solved in this particular model houses which I was referring to, but their argument was that they could not take the guarantee of such floating shelf staying stable with small area glued to the wall, which is understandable as well. The height of the marble will be 3 centimeters on each area, on each surface, will it be on the countertop or as a shelf, and just gluing this 3 centimeters on the wall would not keep the entire load of 3 meter and 70 centimeter long marble piece, which is attached and floating somewhere in the air. So they were saying that either there had to be bracing done in the wall, or we needed some type of support which would be installed from outside on the wall mount and giving extra support from underneath to this open shelving. I also searched for a lot of examples and just found one where such metal supports were installed on top of such marble. It was not the most glamorous look, but it was at least something which I could live with. We also went ahead and bought from Amazon 2 of such metal support bits, which we sent to the stonesmith to look at and see if they could take over the guarantee on using such elements to stabilize this shelving, but they were not prone to this idea either. It is like this in Germany that every element which will be installed in this kitchen has to be purchased by them so that they take guarantee over it. So if we would buy a certain element on Amazon and bring it to them, even if we were not producer of it, they would not take the guarantee of the overall result. So if there would happen something and the shelf would break down, they would be obviously blaming that it was because of the element that we brought, which is big risk for us as well. And in their own catalog and with their deliverers, they did not really have anything that would look nice solution. So I think I'm not exaggerating when I say this, but it's been 1 month of writing back and forth and discussing different options with the kitchen studio in between us. And I think every time we call to the stonesmith, they directly know who we are, because there is no other family who is working with marble and having a wish concert of floating marble shelves. So I think we are not 100% set, but they are currently checking one solution where some 2 metal bits will be going through into the wall and then just hanging directly underneath the floating shelf. Being 2 millimeters long, it should not be really visible unless you are super short and see the open shelving from underneath, but that's the best that they could propose so far. I think there was a lot of conflict potentials as well between us, because they were constantly coming to us saying, why don't we go with more stable materials and work with quartz or something else, which I found really awkward, because I think I made it clear from the very beginning that I did not want that. So just to keep repetitively that we should not do this was somewhat not understandable for me as a person commissioning a certain type of work. As told, there has been lots and lots of variations that they discussed with us, but none of them really pleased me. And there you can see that I'm very, very particular when it comes to what I like. Another big drama was related to the finish. When I talked about marble, it seems I didn't really make it clear in the very beginning that I wanted it to look honed. There is two major sorts of finishes when it comes to marble. There is the polished one and there is honed. There is completely matte as well, I think, but honed and the polished ones which are mostly referred. I really dislike the look of the polished one because it looks like very glancy and like sort of reflecting everything with high intensity, so that you see everything mirrored. When you research it online, they say that it looks a lot more luxurious than the honed one, but for my personal taste, I really love this natural softness and roughness of the surface, which is still present in the honed version, but it's also not matte or raw in a sense that the entire pores are open and not sealed. At least that's my understanding of it. So I was 100% certain that I wanted to choose honed over the polished one, and I communicated this at certain stage, which it seems is another problem with the stonesmiths as well. They are only working with polished marble and they are not willing to do the honed one for us, no matter what stone sort we will choose. They say that because of the porous surface of the marble, they could not give any guarantee that it won't start breaking once it starts to absorb different liquids while working on the countertop. Once again, that's a major criteria for me when paying so much money, and 2 days ago I formulated a long email to them explaining why I'm being that stubborn and very persistent with my wishes, and gave different examples of what I mean under the polished look and what I mean under the honed look. That is also one big topic, guys. I am not a native speaker when it comes to English as well. I'm struggling so much when recording such a video. I constantly lose the words, don't exactly know how to articulate them, so I have to search the particular words, but it's even worse in German. So when I'm communicating with them, we have a lot of additional misunderstandings because of the language. So that is why I attached a lot of pictures showing what I mean under the polished look and what I mean under the honed look, so that with visual examples they can understand that I don't talk about completely raw material itself, which is not sealed on the surface, but rather something in between of being fully matte and having this high reflective glancy look when it comes to polished surface. So yeah, that's where we are at the moment. So the finish is not clear, the support system is still being checked, and when we are in the middle of this, we still are being pushed from the overall house construction company to finalize our order with regards to the electric units, and it is very difficult. Obviously it makes huge difference if we are doing such marble countertops with floating shelves, or if we are doing the cabinetry on one side. So if we will have to restructure and replan the entire kitchen, then obviously the plug units and the light units will be situated on completely different spots, rather than when having such open shelving, and not knowing and not being certain if it works. obviously doesn't make it easy for us to answer the questions with regards to such electric installations. All those question marks and communicating between 3-4 different companies working on this house is really a struggle when it comes to full-time jobs and language barriers and cultural differences as well. But I think we are doing our best. I'm very curious how we're gonna end up when it comes to kitchen, but I'm still hopeful that our wishes can be met from the other side as well. That is it for my video, guys, today. I hope you enjoyed and listening to my ramble with regards to the kitchen planning. I'm super excited and curious and can't wait to see the final draft and then afterwards the end result in the house. Please let me know in the comment section below if you've had any experience with marble in the kitchen or in the bathroom area, because that's where we're planning also to do the marble as a countertop. What experiences you've made with it, and if you had any experiences with installing the floating shelf with natural stone, I'll be very happy if you share that experience with me also. Stay on board, stay healthy, and I'm gonna see you on my next one on this channel very soon.